Hi guys, and thanks for clicking on the video. What I'm going to be looking at today is just how quickly your drop away rest gets out of the way when you fire an arrow out of your compound bow. Now I know it's going to be a little bit different for each bow and each drop away rest, but for the most part I imagine it's going to be fairly close as far as the speed of these things is concerned. So stay tuned, keep watching, and we'll work through it together. So the way this video came about was I wanted to film myself shooting a couple of arrows in slow motion and then review the footage to see if there were any flaws in my form that sort of stood out to me that I could work on. But then once I went to review the footage, I also started thinking about the parts on the bow that move and just how quickly they actually do what they need to in order to have the arrow leave the bow cleanly. So specifically in this video, what I'm going to be looking at are the drop away rest and how quickly that gets out of the way, and then the cams rotating and how quickly they go from a full draw position back to the resting cam position. The way that I'll be doing that as well is frame by frame, because as you can see the slow motion on my camera isn't all that fantastic, and even in slow motion when I fire the arrow, it's still too quick to see what's going on. So the first part of the bow that I'm going to be looking at are the cams rotating. And as you can see here in the close-up shot, it's one full rotation to full draw. And as you're aiming, everything sort of just sits there. Now that's a lot of energy that's been stored. You can see the gap between the vibration dampeners and the limbs, how big that's got. And then when I actually release the shot, everything goes back to where it's supposed to be in such a short amount of time. So these are the frames that I was talking about. And as you can see, the cam goes from full draw position to resting cam position within the space of 3 frames. Each of those frames represents 0.01 of a second. So that's pretty damn quick. Then we've got the rest as well. And once again, it's in the up position as I'm drawing the bow. And if the cams are rotating that quickly, that they're pushing the arrow as quick as they are, you're asking a lot from a mechanical part to move out of the way as quickly as it does and stopping dead so that the fork of the drop away rest doesn't bounce back up again. And I guess that's the difference between a cheap drop away and a good quality drop away rest. So here we go again with the single frames. Remember, each frame is 0.01 of a second. So here I am about to release the arrow. We can just see the fork start to move down. In the next frame it's already down and you can see the veins of the arrow going past. So there doesn't appear to be any bounce back, and all of that happened again in the space of 3 frames. So that's 0.03 of a second for your drop away rest to get out of the way so that you have good vein clearance and your arrow goes out of the bow cleanly. The other thing that I thought was really interesting as well, and I've seen photographs of it before, is just how much your strings and cables actually move when you take a shot out of your bow. Like, if you hold on or touch the cables and strings on the bow when the bow's at rest, they're always fairly tight, and it's hard to imagine that they do anything other than just moving from the full draw position straight to the rest position. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the clip, but feel free to slow it down and try and go frame by frame for yourself as well. The amount of movement that you get out of the string is just nuts. Hard to believe that all of that happens in such a short amount of time. So that's it for this video. Remember to leave a like or a comment below, and if you haven't already done so, click on the subscribe button and the little bell icon so that you get a notification each time I upload a new video. Hope you guys all have a great week, and remember, just do good shots.